going on, you guys? Bushido Monologue, episode 9. And this week, well, to start things off, Claressa Shields lost her second MMA fight. That's the current news in the, boxing community, or, should I say MMA community as well. Claressa Shields lost against Abigail Montez. Some people seem to believe that Claressa Shields actually won the fight, but which a lot of those dudes that saying this don't even really know shit about MMA, okay? Your boy Bushido follows MMA. Shields lost that fight. If you know how to judge an MMA fight, if you know how to score MMA, she lost, man. You know, it might have been close, but old girl, Abigail Montez, she showed dominance in the fight. She was in dominant positions for majority of that fight. She had her on a full mount. That's huge in MMA. And for a nice little periods of time, she got Claressa Shields in the full mount. Had her up against the cage, and she didn't really do anything striking-wise that really stood out, but she kind of out-hustled Shields a little bit. You know, Shields seemed to have trouble finding her range with her boxing. You know, that's the difference between boxing and MMA. A boxer trying to go against a MMA striker is different. She's trying to paw her jab out, but she was way out of range. Why? Because Abigail Montez had her lead leg and was checking Claressa's lead leg with the leg kicks. The legs is longer than the arms. And she just couldn't, it's just an experience thing. In my opinion, she still did good considering. She showed some improvements in her wrestling defense. But once you get in that full mount, that's a different animal. And she's going to have to really, really work on that. I think Claressa Shields still could do some good things in the sport of mixed martial arts. Old girl just came out there with a good game plan. She nullified Claressa Shields' boxing. And she ended up getting a split decision. You know, we go see what Claressa decides to do. Seems like she's getting a lot of criticism for her defeat to this girl in a foreign sport to her. You know, a lot of people seem to be happy that the GOAT lost. I mean, boy. Yeah, too many people was happy that she lost. It's not like she lost in a sport that she's best at. You know, it's something new that she's doing. She ain't even been doing it for she ain't been really doing it for a year yet, I don't believe. And, she fought a girl that's 2-0. Abigail Montez came out with a good game plan and got the job done. But moving forward, Sean Porter came out and said he want to knock this guy out in reference to Terrence Crawford. Sean Porter's coming out saying he want to knock Bud out. We haven't seen Sean Porter knock anybody out since Paulie Malignaggi, right? I guess if you want to call the Berto fight, yeah, you want to say that was his last official knockout. But Sean Porter hasn't got a knockout in a while. He said he wants to knock out Terrence Crawford. I think that's a long shot. From Sean Porter. He already looking in shape. He's already looking in shape, fit, ready to go. Sean Porter's always in shape. We ain't got to worry about him coming in here out of shape or coming in here soft and flabby. We ain't got to worry about none of that with neither of these two guys. But Sean Porter also brought up the fact that Mean Machine dropped Crawford. That seems to be one of the main sticking points when fans want to, stick it to Terrence Crawford. That he got dropped by Mean Machine. It didn't count as an official knockdown. Sean Porter said he definitely got knocked down, et cetera, et cetera. Crawford responds to this and says, well, so what if he did knock me down? Whoop-de-doo. He still got knocked out. And, yeah, even though Mean Machine landed a good shot on Crawford, he went down, on one knee or whatever. He still got up and proceeded to beat the shit out of this guy. Sean Porter, actually, if you want to talk about getting knocked down, he gets knocked down. He got knocked down by a lightweight in Adrian Broner. The guy that moved up 2 weight classes to fight him, he knocked him down late in the fight. Sean Porter got knocked down quite a few times in the sport of boxing, but I don't really harp on shit like that. But they use things like that when you're talking about a guy like Terrence Crawford, a guy that seems almost invincible, a guy that's so dominant. That's what they look for. Just like with Floyd and Zab, they brought that up for years. Oh, Zab knocked him down, and it didn't count as a real knockdown, but it was a knockdown, and whatever. Who gives a fuck, right? Floyd still proceeded to dominate after that. Same as Crawford. After Crawford got knocked down by Mean Machine, he proceeded to dominate. So who gives a damn, right? But that's just something that they're using to kind of, talk about the fight and, okay, since Mean Machine can do it, I can do it. But Mean Machine is actually a puncher. Shawn Porter isn't. Shawn Porter, as strong as he is, he should be running through these guys, punching through these guys, but he's not. Mean Machine is actually a puncher. Most of his wins have come by knockout. Not to mention, Terrence Crawford was a lightweight. He's a naturally smaller guy. Even if he has gotten acclimated to 147, he's still naturally the smaller guy. Mean Machine wasn't fighting at lightweight. Shawn Porter wasn't fighting at lightweight. Spence wasn't fighting at lightweight. Thurman wasn't fighting at lightweight. But Crawford was. So that's just something that Shawn Porter had to say. Crawford responded, just a little back and forth thing. That fight's going to be great. Caleb Plant, also, he's been working out. He looks in phenomenal shape. Probably the best shape that Caleb Plant ever been in. He's looking jacked. He's looking shredded. He's looking like he's ready to go. A lot of people seem to not be giving Caleb Plant a chance in this fight. Why? Because it's Canelo Alvarez. A lot of fans haven't seen Caleb Plant enter with a guy close to the caliber of a Canelo Alvarez. But your boy Bushido thinks Caleb Plant has everything it takes to win that fight. One thing, Canelo's a 5'8" guy. 5'8", he's short, he's small. He is small compared to Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant, 6 foot, 6'1", a real super middleweight. A guy that's making the weight comfortably, not draining himself to make the weight like a Callum Smith, who's a 6'3" guy, shrinking down to 168 when he really should have been at 175 2 or 3 fights ago. Caleb Plant is a real super middleweight. He's a young super middleweight. And he has a very good style to deal with Canelo Alvarez. This probably be the closest thing to a Mayweather-ish type of style that Canelo's faced since Floyd Mayweather. Oh, well, he fought Danny Jacobs. He's a black fighter. Danny Jacobs don't fight like a slick black fighter. Danny Jacobs don't move around the ring on the back foot and give you slick head movement and quick hands. Nah, that's not Danny Jacobs. But that definitely is Caleb Plant. He has the speed. He may not necessarily have the knockout power, but you don't necessarily need that. Triple G got all the power in the world, right? But guess what? It didn't matter. In this fight, skills are going to pay the bills. I'm not 100% saying Caleb Plant's going to win, but I think he has a good chance. Of course, boxing fans aren't going to give him a chance. Of course not. That's not what boxing fans do. But your boy Bushido always like to give a guy a chance. And a guy like Caleb Plant definitely has a chance to make something happen against Canelo Alvarez. I've said it before many times. I don't really want to say it again. Why? But real quick for the people who may be new to the channel, Caleb Plant is in a good situation. Canelo Alvarez is the visitor facing Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant is the home team by him being a PBC Showtime guy. PBC Showtime gave Canelo Alvarez $40 million in order for him to take the fight with Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant has something Canelo Alvarez wants, which is that 168-pound IBF title. In order for Canelo to get that and become undisputed, he's going to have to see Caleb Plant. So he's going to have to take that risk by going over there to PBC. Now, if Canelo Alvarez wins, then he gets the $40 million. He becomes undisputed. He will be regarded as probably the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. He gets to walk away scot-free. $40 million in the bank. Boom, boom, bam. But if Caleb Plant wins, there's a rematch clause. There's a rematch clause. And one thing Steven Espinoza, Showtime, BBC, Al Heyman would definitely want is to have Canelo Alvarez again for another big fight, an even bigger fight. Why? Because this white American guy just came and beat one of the best boxers in the world in Canelo Alvarez. Who is this dude? Oh, man, the money's just going to be piling up if Caleb Plant wins that fight. And it'll be even a bigger fight in the rematch. Because now Canelo has a true rival, right? He has a true rival and something that the fans can get excited about, rather than him just going on the European tour and just beating up on these guys, right? Caleb Plant winning will be better for boxing. It'll be more exciting for boxing. Take it for how you want. That's the way I feel about it. No shade towards Canelo at all whatsoever. But I do think Caleb Plant winning will be better for boxing. Canelo Alvarez needs rivals, okay? And Caleb Plant, he just simply has to do the work. He has the speed, the footwork, the hand speed. He has everything going to give Canelo Alvarez a tough night. We go see what happens. But Anthony Joshua came out, and I guess one may say he came out with some excuses, right? But of course, fans aren't going to attack AJ, right? They're not going to do that to AJ. And like your boy Bushido said, I don't really give a damn about the excuses. I don't care. Because there's always excuses. Because there's always excuses in life, period. Whether people like to acknowledge them or speak on them or not, there's always some type of excuse. AJ came out and said some things, why he fought the certain game plan, et cetera, et cetera. Said that he's angry and he's going to war with Usyk in the next fight. Where did this anger come from, AJ? You should have been pissed off after you lost that damn fight. But nonetheless, this is what AJ needs. AJ needs to bring out that killer edge. One thing I feel that Anthony Joshua is lacking is the killer edge. I feel like he's a guy that's kind of just on autopilot. But if he had that killer edge, the fearlessness, the never say die attitude, that fight with Usyk, we probably wouldn't even be talking about a rematch with him and Usyk right now. Because AJ had every advantage in that fight. He had the hometown advantage, the home city advantage, the home country advantage. He's the A-side, super A-side. He had every advantage in that fight. The size, the reach, he had every advantage, maybe except for speed and overall experience. But other than that, he had every advantage going into that fight. And he fought Usyk's fight. And now he's upset about it. But AJ gonna have to prove it in the ring. He can't afford to lose to this guy twice. He can't. And I know how we like to say, oh, well, we can't count a guy off from taking losses. Yeah, I know, I agree. But that's just not how boxing works. If AJ loses against Usyk twice, that's bad. Right? That's pretty bad. Just like Wilder losing to Fury twice. It's pretty bad. But they consider Fury to be the greatest heavyweight. Usyk is a cruiserweight moving up. You know what I'm saying? He's a smaller guy moving up to the big boy division, fighting one of the top guys in the division. He beat him. Damn near stopped him. But Wilder and Fury, well, most people never really gave Wilder a chance because Fury has such a experience gap over Wilder. He's bigger, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But AJ and Usyk, well, Usyk didn't look necessarily great his past few fights prior to AJ, but he definitely showed up and showed out against Anthony Joshua. Usyk is a hell of a fighter. Hell of a fighter. But moving forward, the lightweight division, Rolly and Tank, Teofimo, Devin, Ryan. It's the lightweight division is looking really good from top to bottom. Then we got guys like Michelle Rivera, the little Ali. It's just so many guys in the lightweight division. Richard Coleman, Lomachenko coming up. It's a lot of good fights coming up in the lightweight division. Teofimo Cambosis, finally. Tickets went on sale for that fight. Woo, man, are they cheap. Them tickets are cheap. So that just goes to show you, and I'm not really into all that shit, but Tank Davis, it probably was some validity in what he was saying. Teofimo can't sell tickets, so now we go sell these tickets for $35, $45, $55. The highest ticket you're probably going to get bought is $250, $30, $350 or something. That's pretty low. But they got to try to pack the arena somehow, right? So they damn near giving out tickets for free for Teofimo Lopez, and he's from New York. So Teofimo don't got the drawing power juice just yet for him to be acting so Hollywood. And unfortunately, in the sport of boxing today, that matters. You being able to draw. Be some type of draw. So you a guy with 3 belts, and you really just can't move the needle. You can't sell tickets. Nobody really knows who you are yet. The fans aren't gravitated towards you yet. And I think that's kind of a problem when you put these guys on a fast track. And then he's been kind of inactive. You haven't really seen much of Tia outside of him doing his social media shit and him playing around his Cambosis fight. You haven't really seen him since the Loma. Loma already fought Nakatani, knocked him off, and now he's going to the next one. He's fighting Richard Coleman next month. Well, December. Still October. You know what I'm saying? He's moving right along. But the lightweight division in general is nice. It got a nice amount of talent. Even the guys that we really don't speak about often. There's some guys in the lightweight division. Some nice amount of fighters in the lightweight division. And really, who knows who's really the best guy? It could possibly be a guy like Michel Rivera who comes out of nowhere and, you just never know. We got to see these guys get these opportunities as well. We could say Devin, Tio, Loma, all these guys that we could say they're the best, because we've seen them. But the guys that we didn't see, maybe they just need the opportunity as well, right? Should be interesting to see how the lightweight division unfolds. Rolly and Tank, a lot of people don't see that as a pay-per-view worthy fight. I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. I'm going to enjoy it for what it is. Rolly is that guy that fans want to see get beat up on. Tank Davis is a very exciting fighter. I'm going to just sit back and enjoy it for what it is. Because I already came to the realization that Tank Davis isn't going to be moved like they're going to move him as a guy that they want to promote as the best fighter in the sport. They want to promote Tank Davis as if he's just some ticket seller, some guy with some drawing power. They're not going to move him to be the best pound for pound fighter in the sport of boxing. They're not going to do any of that. That's not what they're doing with Tank. And to be honest with you guys, I feel that Tank Davis has the potential to surpass a Floyd Mayweather. However, he would never do that because he's under Floyd Mayweather. Floyd isn't going to put him in the fights that we really want to see him in, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not going to really put that on Tank Davis. That's Floyd Mayweather. And I like Floyd. Floyd's that guy. But he's not about to put Tank up in there with nobody we want to see anytime soon. And I came to that realization. I'm just enjoy Tank Davis for who he is. He's an exciting fighter. He puts on the show. What more could I ask for? I already see what they're doing with him. They're not going to be putting him in there with, Devin Haney or anybody anytime soon. And speaking of Devin Haney, him and Teofimo Lopez had a little confrontation a week ago, whatever. And then they was arguing with each other on the zone. Like some kids. And, I got more followers than you. And yeah, Dev, that may be true, bro. But at the end of the day, y'all need to fight. And I do believe Devin wants that smoke. I think Devin is one of the young boogeymen. But it was just funny when he said, I got more followers than you. That's just the way the boxing's set up today, people. So for us, people that may come from a different era, we just got to learn how to roll with the punches and accept this is just the way it is today. Followers and subscribers, and that's just what it is. But we gonna see what Teofimo Lopez decides to do after his fight with Kambosos. Is he gonna fight Devin Haney after talking all that shit? I mean, it's been a thing with them two for quite a while now. I think something has to happen in 2022. It just has to. Why wouldn't it? After all this talking, if you want to truly be undisputed, you got to see Devin, bro. You got to see Dev. But moving forward, what else did we have this week? Otto Wallin don't believe that Dillian White is really hurt. Now, actually, Otto Wallin wanted to see the MRI and everything. Fans want to see this shit too from this guy. Now we're hearing that they're making Fury versus White. Like, you're hearing little rumors. Eddie Hearn is trying to speak this shit into existence or something. And yeah, so they're trying to bypass Otto Wallin to go right into a fight with Tyson Fury. I think that's bullshit. I think Otto Wallin deserves a shot, a legitimate shot, to face Dillian White and the winner should go off to face Tyson Fury if Tyson Fury isn't talking about retiring still. Tyson Fury seems to have lost motivation now after this Wilder thing is over. Tyson Fury needed Deontay Wilder. Boxing needs Deontay Wilder. Okay? But he don't seem too motivated really anymore at all. He did say he plans on fighting a few more times. I believe I know Derek Chisora is one of them. He said that was going to be his last fight because he promised him he'll fight him again. Maybe just for a payday and maybe because they kind of cool or some shit. I don't know. But that's something that he said. I don't know if the AJ fight, that lost a lot of luster. He got to deal with Usyk. Is Tyson Fury going to be willing to stick around and wait around for these guys? Fury seems to get bored pretty easily. So, and then without Wilder, to keep him motivated, what is it really out there left for Tyson Fury other than trying to unify with Usyk? But he didn't seem too interested in fighting Usyk because Usyk, for one, don't speak English, he said, and that Usyk don't move the needle. However, you might want to go ahead and fight him anyway. If Usyk's successful against AJ, you might as well go ahead and unify the division, right? Because I believe that's what Usyk wants to do. Usyk is a fighter that's striving for greatness. And I do think he's worthy to be pound for pound. Probably number one, honestly. And y'all know I got my boy Bud at number one. But, unbiasedly, you may have to put Usyk up there just because he was undisputed at cruiserweight. And then he moved all the way up to heavyweight and became a 3-belt champion, beating Anthony Joshua. And the move from cruiserweight to heavyweight is a pretty significant one versus, the guys that's at the smaller weight divisions. There's big weight gaps at heavyweight. So, yeah, Usyk done his thing. Now, him being a heavyweight, could we consider him a pound-for-pound fighter? I guess you can for a little while because he was a cruiserweight. He's not necessarily a full-blown heavyweight. I don't understand why guys put heavyweights on the pound-for-pound list, but whatever, right? In my pound-for-pound list, I'll prefer to have no heavyweights on there. Why? Because they the big guys, man. I mean, it's not really fair. It's not really fair. But nonetheless, people, I believe that's it for this week. I believe that's it for this week. Bushido's Monologue, episode 9. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Of course, Clarissa Shields took her first loss. She looked hurt, man. She looked hurt when they was announcing the winner of the fight. She looked hurt, but she'll be all right. She got to get back to work and improve. You know what I'm saying? This probably make her a lot better. This probably make her a lot better. And I'm trying to think what else. Real quick before I go, the WBC is bullshit. Mikey Garcia, I already did a video on it, but I'm going to recap on what I said real quick for the guys who may not have watched the video. Go watch the video. Go like, subscribe. Go subscribe to your boy Bushido, man. Come on. Your boy is on his way to 10,000 subscribers. The channel is doing phenomenal. To be honest with you, I didn't think it would ever be doing as well, but I'm all in with it. I'm all in with this. So your boy Bushido ain't going nowhere. Your boy Bushido ain't going nowhere. And it's you guys that keep me motivated to do this. The support that I get, the love that I get, it keeps me motivated. And we on that road to 10,000 subs. We on that road to 10,000 subs. That's a big feat for your boy. Because I didn't know where this thing was going to go, this YouTube shit. I didn't know where it was going to go. And actually, for the longest time when I first started, I felt like I was talking to my damn self. But anyways, that's all I got for this week, you guys. Hope everybody have a good day. Stay out of trouble. If you're a little chubby, if you're fat, start considering going to the gym, dieting, and just stay positive. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.